Hi, everyone. We welcome you to the 2023 May session of the In Conversation with series. Before we proceed further, let me take you on a brief history of the In Conversation program. The In Conversation series was incubated to give real life learning opportunities to our senior school students who interview a host of leading edge thinkers, doers, and mavericks. Through the question answer sessions on the choices and decisions made by our guest speakers, our young audience encounters new ways of being and seeing the world. What's special about this year? We are now making this series more accessible and engaging. We will now have three modes of conducting interviews. The podcast mode, where we have interviews conducted online in a podcast format with our guest speakers. The online format, where we have a live Q&A session with our audience, with our guest speakers. And finally, the on-site mode, where we have a discussion with our guests in school. It is our pleasure to welcome and introduce to you our esteemed guest speaker for today's podcast session, Mr. Anoop Varghese. Mr. Anoop Varghese is a versatile personality. He's a prolific writer, filmmaker, lyricist, UAE's certified badminton national umpire, cricket player, badminton player, and certified mental health first aider. On the professional front, Mr. Anoop is a resource manager with Siemens Energy Dubai, the company that he has been associated for the past 17 years. He holds an MBA degree with Madurai Kamaraj University. As a writer, Mr. Anoop is well known in literary circles in the UAE. His short stories have been compiled into two books, published and released at Sharjah International Book Fair. It has also been featuring in leading magazines of India and UAE. Mr. Anoop is also a Guinness Book of World Record holder for the most authors signing their own books simultaneously at a single location, which was achieved at the Sharjah Book Fair UAE on 7th November 2019. We are thrilled and honored to have you here, sir, and we're looking forward to having an engaging and interactive session with you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the time you've taken to have this conversation with me. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule. I'm pretty sure you're very busy. Moving on to the first question. Can you please tell us about your background and how you developed your passion for writing and filmmaking and even cricket?
Okay, I've already mentioned in the introduction session, I'm working with Siemens Energy as a resource manager for the last 18 years. Before that, I was working with Axis Bank and HDFC Bank. So the change, I always like to work in diversified fields. So the change from a banking sector to an oil and gas sector was really challenging to me. But sometimes, it's always good to take calculated risk. So this is how it's my professional background. I developed writing from my childhood. My father was an English professor, so he used to give me, classics. So I used to read books, and this is how I developed my reading and writing habits. The book which have dramatically changed my life is The Old Man and the Sea, written by Ernest Hemingway. He gave me this book as a literary classic, but for me, it was not just a literary classic. The old man has tried 84 times to go to sea and to catch a blue marlin. 85 times he failed, and actually 84 times he failed, but on the 85th attempt he succeeded in doing that. So that was really an inspiration book for me, not just a literary classic. So I learned two big lessons reading that book. One is basically never give up, and second one is always remember point number one. So always don't give up. You will, if you keep on attempting something, if you that you will succeed. So that book has dramatically changed my life. Yeah, thanks.
Yes, sir. Like you said, you have a varied set of interests. So how do you balance your time and energy amongst all of them and ensure you put in equal amounts of time for each interest?
24 hours, right? So you should basically, what I think is you need to prioritize your things. That's very important, and you need to have a goal. This is very important. Even if you don't achieve your goals, you need to set a milestone. For example, if you want to write a novel, you set a goal that you will be writing this novel in 3 months, okay, and the first 3 chapters will be done in this time. Set milestones and work towards that. So for that, okay, working for completing first chapter, you need this much hours, and how you will attain that hours, you need to work on that. Okay, so if you don't achieve it, don't worry. Every failure is a lessons learned for me. Okay, so you need to think, why didn't you achieve it? Okay, so you learn from that. Okay, you then try to and learn the lessons and try to improve and go forth. So everybody should aim something big. I was thinking about Jessica, there's a movie also made. She's a 16-year-old girl. At that time, she has circumnavigated through sea. For success, I believe there is no age. At any point, any age, you can be successful. There are people, KFC Colonel has started his career at, or basically started the business at the age of 65. He was a successful man. People started Sachin started at a very young age as a cricketer. He was successful. So I don't believe that there is any age of doing big things. So I actually request all the listeners, you can think big things at this age. You can, but not just dreaming big. You need to go and work towards that success. You need to work hard for that, and you need to have a goal. This is what I'm telling.
Yeah, speaking of success, your short stories have won multiple awards and have been, published in various magazines. So, can you just share your creative writing process when you're writing a short story or a novel?
A very good question, actually. Different writers have different writing methods, actually. For me, at my career beginning stage, whatever ideas comes to my mind, I write it. And then the motive was to see my name in a magazine, actually published. I think every writer will be really happy to see their name, in the stories, actually. So my first goal was, when in initial stage, I was just writing stories and sending that. But later I developed the ideas that fascinated me, but over a period of time is not fascinating me anymore. So I've decided, that was also a lessons learned for me. So I understood that, when I have an idea, you just wait for some time, maybe wait for 2 weeks, and see that if that idea fascinates you, at that point of time. Most probably for me, sometimes that idea that is fascinating 2 weeks earlier is not fascinating me to after 2 weeks. So mostly I drop that idea. So that was a wonderful. Then if it is, then I again wait for a couple of weeks. If still that idea still haunts me, you think about characters every day, it automatically comes to your mind. Then at one point of moment, you understand that this is an idea where you can write a story. Okay, so every story should have conflicts. All these writing techniques. That's a you need to have conflicts, 3-act method, and all these things. But this thing I would like to say is that you need to have an idea, okay, and that should fascinate you for even after 1 month. Then you can start writing it.
You've written so many stories. Have you ever experienced a writer's block? Sort of
Yeah,
feeling
of course.
very,
Yeah,
very
that's
unmotivated. How have you, helped yourself with that? If it's like a period of time that you've felt really unmotivated with your creative process, how did you come back into momentum?
to be honest, initially, I thought, if writing is a blessing. Okay, so I had this writer's block for a long time, but fortunately I was into diversified field, so I could concentrate on other, like even badminton, cricket, and all these things. So I was not that really stressed. But if you are only, if you have a writer alone, then that will be really stressful for that. But I think the best way to avoid writer's block is to read. Okay, sometimes one passage will ignite your writing, and I have experienced this personally. Okay, so when you stop writing, you read. Okay, you read 100 pages and write one sentence. This is what great writers say. Okay, so keep on reading, then one word actually will ignite you and you can start writing. This is how I personally overcome the writer's block, which I have experienced in my life also.
Thank you for that advice, sir. So moving on to your badminton passion, I have a list of passions that I want to cover. So what inspired you to become a certified badminton national umpire? And, how do you manage, again, your professional and athletic pursuits in life?
Badminton. I used to play badminton on a serious level, actually, to participate in tournaments and all. So, what at one point of time you need to retire from the sport. So, so I had to retire from badminton as a player. So I thought, like, if I want to continue, being a part of this game, I need to do something. So I thought of different ways of how to assess it. Then I found that being a certified national umpire can really be part of, like you can be associated with that actually. Being part of this badminton Special Olympics in Abu Dhabi, that's a wonderful thing, being part of that. Even this Asia Camp, I was there actually. So that's, when if you want to achieve something, you think about out of the box or different things that you can continue what you love. This is how I wanted to take this badminton certification national umpire in UAE.
Thank you, sir. And along with your, being a certified badminton national umpire, you were also the captain of the Travancore Cricket Club. So can you just share your experience leading the team and, competing in prestigious Masters cricket tournaments?
Yeah, actually, that's everybody loves cricket as a child. Like you used to play cricket. And being an Indian, you used to do that. So I have many friends who was, we were playing together. So one of my friends, actually very close friend, at that time, I'm telling about 25 years back. At that time, professional cricket was not. You can make money or you can make a career. There was no IPL and all, so it's very difficult to make a career out of a cricket. So one of my friends, we were playing together. His name is Soni Cheruvatur. He was telling me, "Okay, Anoop, I want to make this a career." I said, "Okay," but there is no career in cricket at that time. I'm telling you. So, but he insisted that, "Okay, I want to play. I want to play," and then actually he tried, and he became Kerala RNG team captain. Okay, then he went on becoming becoming A team. He played for India A team also. So actually, he inspired me a lot. Actually, so when I met him, he's a coach in UAE now. So we met, and he asked me, like, "Why can't you, do something? What Then so with the help of him, I've contacted many very good players basically, and then I made a team. Okay, but the tournament initial games, I was not able to win matches. Okay, so I understood that team is not, like you need to have a chemistry between the team members, and then I had team building activities. Then I tried what are we not achieving, where are we failing actually. So we identify the bottlenecks actually, then we try to improve that. Then I tried something very different, like getting the pinch hitters in the initial overs so that you can score runs. Sometimes it failed, but sometimes it, so this is how, what I didn't win the final actually, but we were the runner-up, but very proud in the first tournament itself, we were the one runner-up. So, but it's all lessons learned for me, every failure is a lessons learned. I will not take that word failure, but I'll always say lessons learned. Yeah, thank you.
That's amazing, though, sir. And have you been watching IPL, the recent IPL? Because
Yeah, actually,
the
yes,
other,
yeah.
yeah,
But to be honest, actually, you are aware of this old, bribe case of Hansi Kronia, where it's a very. But during that time, of course, everybody watched IPL, but the cricket, the um, the passion for cricket has come down a bit for me because of that incident happened a very long time about this bribe, but still, it's in my heart. Yeah.
Personally, I don't really watch cricket, even though, my dad is a really
Yeah.
big fan of cricket. He's been watching IPL matches. I've seen movies like 83 and, Story of Tony and stuff like that. But, speaking of movies, you are also a script consultant and writer director. So
Yeah.
what is your approach to storytelling there? And how do you collaborate with different and other filmmakers to bring a story to life on screen?
To be honest, filmmaking interest came to be, recently, where one of the very good directors of Malayalam film industry, his name is Abhilash. Okay, he's a director of the movie Chattambi. Okay, so he called me and said, "I want to make one of your stories a short movie." Actually, I was not very convinced that that particular short story will be a good film. But we worked together to make Great Journey. That's a movie we made. Okay, it's a short movie of 30 minutes, and it currently it has 1.8 million views in YouTube. So I understand that films can make your stories much nicer because it has this appealing of vision, visual effects, and sound, all these things. You can make your stories much nicer actually. So I've actually associated with him for recently for another project called A Kahani. So I am the writer director for that project. It's a short movie as well, but he is a producer, so it will be released in YouTube very soon. But I've done a premiere for the movie in a theater, and I got very good response. So I'm very, I hope it will be very good reception from the audience as well.
All the best for that, sir.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
and also, if you could just elaborate on, the difference between writing a novel and, writing a script for a movie or a short film. Is there any difference that you personally see? Which one do you prefer, uh, one over the other?
Yeah, script writing, it's entirely a different thing than a story thing actually. Script, if you've seen a script actually, you have it's like a structured method of writing. In story you can have other ways, but in script you need to have a structured. You have establishing it's a structured way of writing. Okay, so you can be a good story writer, but you can't sometimes cannot be a good script writer. So it's you need to learn script writing. Okay, so this is what I think. But if you have a genuine interest in story writing, you can be a story writer even without learning. Okay, you can do that. But script writing, you need to have some learning. But fortunately now in YouTube you have everything. I learn many things from everybody does that. So we have this wonderful YouTube where you can learn things. So if I suggest for aspirant filmmakers, I will request them to make movies. I don't advise them to release it, but at least they can learn different aspect of pre-production, the filming, the shooting, the post production, the editing, the BGM, how does it work? So I hope you also have filming clubs in your school, right? I think your I've seen some of
Yes, sir,
the
we do.
very
We
good
do.
actors. Yeah, that's a very good thing. I think it will be a good career to pursue also. There are different fields, Rasul Pukuti, sound design, or any other, not just acting. People just see film, limelight actors or actresses, but behind the camera also there are wonderful things happening. So it will be good
So
and
to be
different thing.
honest, I think you hit the jackpot being good at, novel writing and script writing and now, badminton umpire and everything.
Not really, actually. It's everybody can do it. Actually, I don't think it's if you spend time. I was always thinking about this Hussein Bolt story. Okay, Hussein Bolt ran the fastest runner in the world, 9.558 seconds he ran. Okay, there is a guy called Amlan in India. He ran 100 meters in 10.34 seconds. So it's only 0.76 seconds difference between him and Amlan, but nobody knows Amlan. Okay, it is a small difference to be the best. So you work hard to achieve that small difference, then you will be the best. Okay, this is what I feel. You just work hard and you can achieve it. Okay. You need to make time for that. You can't. I've seen many people telling that I used to play cricket, but my family didn't support. I didn't get support from my school. I didn't. But I don't believe in all this. It's you who should take the initiative, not the others. Actually, okay. It is good to have support from others. Okay, but if I've this example of Soni Charuvatar I was telling, like it is him that you took the initiative. It's not others. Everybody said no. Even I was telling that to Sony that I'm a bit afraid for you because there is no career in cricket. Everybody was, even the school parents, everybody was telling like, how can you get a career for cricket? But his will, was tremendous and he achieved. So you need to take the initiative and you can achieve tremendous things in life.
And for our final question, what are the upcoming projects you're currently working on, and what can we expect from you in the future?
Yeah, I'm working on a movie actually. I hope I want to go to the big screen. So like um, always dream big. You there is nothing wrong in dreaming big. For the person at any age, you need to dream big. So the next step is obviously a movie. So I'm working towards that. Being a cricketer, I was also thinking about being a team player. Okay, so every like even a movie is like a team playing or a team building thing. There are several departments. One department fails, if the BGM fails, the movie will be bad. The acting fails, the movie will be bad. Okay, so in cricket, you are a good bowler, but if the fielder didn't take the catch, then there is no result actually. Okay, so in life, this you need to be a good team player. Okay, in to be successful, it's what one thing. And you can be good individually, but also it's good to always to be a team player. One thing in this will be very helpful for you in life. Okay, not just for me. I was a team leader some time back, so I like the some people has really good talents, but they are not team players. Okay, so I would rate a team player than an individual, like a genius or something. Yeah, that's what I believe, and I believe in this. Yeah, thank you.
And that concludes our Q&A session. On behalf of Team TMS, I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Anoop for taking out time to speak to us and sharing his insights with us. This session has definitely inspired the young minds in our world to follow their passion and never give up on themselves. He is certainly a role model to all of us, and his story urges us to follow our hearts. Thank you very much, sir, for revving up many hopes and many dreams. We wish you greater glory and newer hills to climb. I would also like to thank our listeners for sitting and listening to this episode of the In Conversation with series. Have a great day ahead.